Hey guys, what's going on? This is Roth, and look who I'm with.
Hi.
Theon Greyjoy of Game of Thrones, but you have an actual name. Alfie.
Yeah, I was about to I really was in character then. Alfie
Did you
Allen.
call yourself Reek?
I did. Alfie Allen.
That's so funny. Do you think of your character as Reek now? I mean, have you sort of mentally transformed how you think of him?
Yeah, it's Reek. It's Reek now. He's Reek. He's definitely Reek.
That's really amazing to me. Do you?
To the point where I have to correct the directors.
Really?
Yeah, they'll say something and I'll go Reek. No, it's Reek.
So do you think there's a chance that... tell me about who Reek is then versus... Which actually brings us to a Twitter question. How do you like that? Ash Goodwin asks...
I mean, sorry, I never have to correct the directors. The directors are always correct. Sorry. Carry on.
Ash Goodwin asks, what was it like to transform from a confident, arrogant character to a broken man? I'm going to do a spin on that, Ash, and say, can you tell me, for you, who is Theon versus who is Reek?
Well, I think, without giving too much away, I think Theon's... or one of Theon, his only point of authority, or that's another pun, his only sort of position of authority is in the bedroom with prostitutes and women, because everywhere else in his life, all decisions are made for him, and he doesn't really get any choice in his own fate whatsoever. So that's the only place where he actually can decide what's going to happen. And
in the bedroom.
In the bedroom, yeah. Well, it is. It's true. It's and then I think something happens to him that enables him to not be in the bedroom anymore, and then I think at that point that's when he definitely starts becoming Reek, is when he loses that valuable piece.
So that's sort of the moment that he becomes that character.
I think so, yeah, definitely.
And
I mean, that's when he starts to lose sight of Theon, because it happens, and then there's a bit of a break, and then he gets named Reek by Ramsay right at the end of series 3, but. I'd say when he loses that special piece of body, that he definitely starts losing sight of himself and forgetting who he really is.
They've especially with your character, they've diverged from the book, and they're continuing to do that. Jerome Flynn, who plays Bronn, had said that they're really starting to do their own thing. Has that been your experience too?
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think I think, like I said, George is just very happy for that to happen, and long may it continue, because David and Dan are extremely talented writers, and they can do what they like with it, I think.
Do you think that Theon could have some surprising fate that none of us really, even Game of Thrones fans, none of us really know about?
I don't know it. I don't know anything. I'm being serious. I don't know anything. I ask them all the time, but they just tease you with little bits here and there, but I have no idea what's going to happen, because it's so different from the book. I mean, I know what happened to him in the book, but sort of what's happened to him in the later stages of the book has already happened to him. So, although I think there's one thing which we're not sure. Like I said, I don't even know what's going to happen with it. So I think there's another sequence of, anyway, I won't say it, but we'll see what happens. I don't really know what's going to happen, but we'll see what happens.
Do you think that, after what he suffered, sort of what is his, we're talking about that already, his emotional state heading into season 4 after what he suffered? He's become Reek. Is there any chance for him to heal from that?
Hopefully. We'll see. But I would like to think so, yeah. But you just never know, do you? You just never know in this crazy, messed up world of Game of Thrones.
Is there any chance that his sort of relationship with Ramsay could he get Stockholm Syndrome? Could he start to...
Without a doubt, I could definitely see that happening. But like I said, we'll just have to wait and see. But I could easily foresee something like that happening for sure.
Where he almost becomes... that could get very complicated, where he could almost become kind of reliant on him in a way.
Yeah, full on bromance.
Yeah. That is the darkest bromance in the history of bromance.
It is, yeah. But we'll see what happens.
Another relationship that I've really loved on the show is Theon and Yara, which is, again, a little bit different than the book. But what I like about it, it's very complex. How many times can I use that word? A lot. There's a real genuine love, but there's also sort of an avarice. I wanted to talk about how you establish that rapport with Gemma, how that'll play out.
Yeah, I think we had a kind of brother and sister relationship anyway, where we teased each other a lot, and we just got along like a house on fire straight away, me and Gemma, and yeah, we would just sort of mess around with each other a lot and talk about it a lot. And she's a comedian at heart anyway. You know, she's a fantastic actress. But you know, I think she sort of came to being an actress through being a comedian. And yeah, so she's just a barrel of laughs to be around anyway. But we would just hanging out and spending lots of time with each other. And weirdly, we just seemed to have that relationship anyway, where we were
sort of brother sister.
Yeah, definitely. And it was great. I wish I could do more with her, to be honest. But we'll just wait and see what happens.
Oh, I know. You're such a tease.
I am. I know. I'm just terrible at that.
There's always, in Game of Thrones, there's always sort of the big episode 9. There's either Blackwater or Reigns of Castamere. For season 4, what is the big sort of moment that you're looking for? I mean, I know you're not going to say what it is, but is there a big sort of moment that you're really looking forward to fans seeing?
I don't know, but it'll probably be in episode 9.
Well, what they've been saying is that there are big moments throughout the season this year, that there isn't maybe one.
There is one moment that I am looking forward to seeing for sure. And I think...
Is it something that book fans might know about?
Yes, they will know about it. And it's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. But it's going to be cool. I think, you know, there's a lot more, as there always is with every series of Game of Thrones. There's a lot of death, a lot of love, a lot of dragons.
I know you've been asked this a million times, but I'm asking you anyway. Who should win the Game of Thrones?
Theon. Reek.
Reek should win?
Reek, yes, of course.
Would he be a good leader?
Yeah, he'd be a great leader. After all that torture, he's had his punishment and he's become humbled. And I think, see him sitting on the throne would be great.
All right, one final question. How many times have you been asked to do a remix of Justin Timberlake and Andy Samberg's Dick in a Box? Have you
No,
how could we make that
I've never watched it. I've never seen it. I know so many people have told me to watch it, but that was one of the first things that people were saying to me. Was, oh, it's like that Dick in a Box thing. But it's funny because that's what actually happens with the Game of Thrones exhibition. Is it travels all around the world and it's got a box with something of Theon's in it. Yeah, I don't know if you could actually look in the box, but there's a box and it's a dick in a box, and it travels around the world. What a great life for a dick in a box.
That is so amazing. All right, Game of Thrones fans, you can look forward. I'm going to look for that and see if there's an actual prosthetic inside. Thank you so much. We can't wait for season 4. We also have a longer interview with Alfie ahead of the season 3 Blu-ray. You should look for that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Take care.